Hi, and welcome back to Stockhead's VCon on Fintech. Next up, we're going to hear from Novatti CEO, Peter Cook, ASX code NOV.
Hello, my name is Peter Cook and I'm the Managing Director of Novatti Group Limited. Novatti is a financial services, payments and fintech company. We have extensive licenses, technology, commercial agreements and management who are very experienced in the area of payments and financial services. The core thesis of our business is that there is extensive transformation of digital financial services. There is extensive needs for consumers and businesses to have new payment services that are not being met by traditional banks. We're dealing into huge addressable markets, and there are medium to high barriers of entry for the services that we provide, primarily related to licensing, technology, domain knowledge and commercial agreements. Our standard waiver and notice for information. So, as I said, Novatti is a leading digital banking and payments fintech. We provide a unified suite of services across issuing, acquiring, cross-border payments and subscription billing, which are the core elements of providing payments for all types of consumers, whether they be individuals, businesses and enterprises within Australia and globally. So as an overview, we do provide a full range of payment services. We would call them digital banking and digital payment services. This includes cross-border payment, transaction processing, card issuing, and payment acquiring. So for instance, issuing services are where you issue a payment instrument such as a card. Acquiring is where you take that card or payment service at a merchant and accept payment. We generate revenues from a range of services. So the issuing of cards, for instance, when someone takes one of our Visa cards, we get paid fees for that. When that payment instrument, such as our Visa card or a cross-border payment is accepted at a merchant, when we process payments and do cross-border transactions, we get paid for those services. And then we also are paid for a range of our technology services where we've provided technologies to others. And we have extensive revenues in the area of subscription billing, where many businesses use our technology for issuing of invoices to others. In general, the whole digital transformation of payment services can be seen by this illustrative graph, which shows the decline in cash versus the uptake in payments via cards, which is many variations of this data. Here a graph shown by the CommBank last year. So massive change from traditional payment methods, whether it be checks, cash, into digital payments. Novatti has focused over the last 18 months on building a very significant level of infrastructure and an ecosystem that we can leverage off. Our infrastructure includes technology, financial services licenses, commercial agreements, and people and processes. And then the illustration of the extent of that infrastructure and ecosystem is some of the partners that we've been able to bring on board that really validate the work we've done and actually extend our ecosystem. So a principal issuing agreement with Visa for Australia, an associate license in New Zealand with Visa, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay for our issuing services so that we can issue cards directly into phones. Extensive work we've done with the Chinese payment methods such as Alipay, WeChat Pay, Union Pay, a very futuristic broad blockchain network called Ripple for cross-border payments, and then representing Marqeta, a US prepaid services and card company in Australia. So really leveraging these partnerships with global players who've done their diligence on Novatti and really work with us in Australia and a number of other countries. Looking at our half-year performance through to December 31, sales revenue $7.35 million, up 49%. Total revenue for the half, including government grants and other revenue, over $8 million. And at the time, $9 million in the bank of available cash, which we're using to drive at growth. Overall, half-year revenue up 49% year on year, and continuing our record revenues by both quarter and half year. The core of our business, though, and the growth area is our processing revenue, the revenues we gain from financial transactions and financial services. And again, year on year, 59% growth in that core market segment. In terms of some of the international expansion that we've flagged, regulatory approval in New Zealand for our issuing services, our subscription billing unit, Immersion, to launch in the US in Q1 calendar 2021, and the first launch clients with Ripple, where we target Southeast Asia. Our growth strategy for financial year 21 is really driven on some core factors. The core thematic, demand for digital, transformation of financial services, leveraging our platforms, whether they be our licenses, our technology, and our commercial agreements, leveraging our balance sheet, for which we raised funds in July 2020 with the express purpose of driving growth. So we leverage all of those elements, and we're looking to accelerate the growth, which has been pretty much averaging 50% growth per annum for the last 3 years. And in summary, the rise of Fintech, which we think Novatti is perfectly positioned for. And as Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase said, people should be absolutely scared about the Fintech threat. Novatti is a strong player in the Australian market with extensive exposure overseas. We are a unified payment service provider. We have a range of licenses. We've got a good flow of news that should occur over the forthcoming period, and an aim for continued strong revenue growth. Thank you.